Hi, good evening. Welcome to this Being Unstoppable workshop. So I've got Danilo here, and Danilo is from London, and I've got Sophie from Krakow in Poland. And we were expecting two other people, but we were going to record this session, so we're going to go ahead with it. But also because Sophie joined us from so far away, we don't know where we're going to cancel the session. So welcome to Being Unstoppable. As I said, my name is Kenneth George. I'm a director of FreedomWorks UK, and we're a company based in London, and what we do is coach people and mentor people, and the main point of our coaching is to get people to be unstoppable, but realize their dreams that they have, they want to fulfill now rather than waiting for some other time. Because most people have great dreams and then they end up fulfilling them at some other time when either time is there or the money is there or the opportunities are there, or when you know enough people, then you do it. So I've done lots of personal development workshops. I've done it for over 20 years, and I've coached for over 20 years. Most of the time as a volunteer, but I started paid coaching in 2009, and I started group coaching in 2010. I started my coaching business in 2012, January 2012. I've coached lots of people. And it's a great thing in my life to be able to make a difference to people. Because once I was just doing a normal day, 9 to 5 job, and working for a local authority in London. I was doing it for long enough, but I was really bored and fed up. And I decided to make this step to actually leave my job without having anything to go to. Because my desire was to be in creative, because I was a graphic designer and computer desktop publisher, and I wanted to do something, but I didn't know how to start a business. But I realized that as long as I didn't leave the job I was stuck to, like glue, I wouldn't have no chance to find what I really wanted to do. So I left the job, and I was really scared because I didn't know what to do. And then this friend of mine who'd been talking to me about this course for 5 years said, "Why don't you do this course now?" I said, "Yeah, it seemed a good opportunity to do it right now." That was in May 1995, exactly 22 years ago. And I came out of the course after 3.5 days. I was a completely different person, because I realized I'm being a victim in my life of my issues and circumstances. And then after the course, I decided to stop being a victim and actually take charge of my life, and which is what I did. And then 2 weeks after that, I started the job as an IT trainer, without having any training background at all. So that got me to really be living my life on the edge. So I've been doing that ever since, and with everything I've done. And one of the things people keep saying to me about my coaching is, like, people say it's amazing the way you coach, Ken, and how do you do it, and how you get people to get results. The thing is that it's not me. There's a way of being I'm being in coaching people and in taking life on. And that way of being is called being unstoppable. And anyone can do it, but you just need to change your mindset, can change the way you're thinking. And once you change the way you think, then you can actually make it work for you. The problem with being unstoppable is you have to do it all the time. It's not something you do and then when you finish it, then you finish being unstoppable. It's a continuous life kind of a strategy. And so, because your challenges change all the time. So you wanted to change your business and then start, you wanted to change from being an employee to running a business.
Yes.
Now you learn how to do that business. Now once you learn how to make money from that business, then there'll be another challenge of expanding your business. So there's always a challenge, one after the other. So you were working in Krakow, Sophie, doing lots of work in a job. Now the job's going to go. So it's another challenge. So that being unstoppable really makes a difference in those situations when you're challenged. And one of my people I was coaching used to say it's a Jedi mind trick. Well, I don't know whether it is or not. But there's a philosopher called Goethe, and he said this quote: "Knowing is not enough, we must do, and willing is not enough, we must be." So that's the point of this workshop, to get you to do and be in life in a way that makes a difference, being unstoppable. So I'd like to give you an opportunity to say who you are and introduce yourself and say a bit about what you're looking to get out of being a workshop called Being Unstoppable. So who'd like to start first?
Would you like to go first?
Yeah.
I can go first.
Yeah, go for it then.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm Danilo. I'm a photographer. I started my business about a year and a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would like from being unstoppable is just to change my mindset really and be better prepared to face the challenges of having my own business. I guess
Yeah.
it's simple as that. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you very much. And how long have you been a photographer for?
A photographer expecting payment.
No, just in life.
In life, well, I started when I was 5 years old, so that's several decades ago.
You don't want to reveal your age, that's okay. All right.
But it's something that
Yeah.
I was doing always, no matter what job I had. My free time, I was always at it. So
Yeah.
it's not something new. It's not that I started a year ago.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you very much. Can we acknowledge Danilo?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. And then Sophie, tell us a bit about you. I know a little bit, but let us know anyway. So who are you and what do you do in life? Maybe what your passion is as well. Danilo's is photography, and what you're expecting from the workshop Being Unstoppable.
Well, it's very hard to actually say who I am because I feel I just like so many things.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my main passion in life is just like to, love and spread love and,
Okay.
just genuinely be happy and just bring like positive energy to people, and I feel this brings me the most happiness.
Yeah.
And apart from that, I really love languages. Like I can speak like fluently 5 languages and I'm also learning more.
Yeah.
So, my ultimate goal is to speak 15 languages fluently.
Oh my goodness.
Until I die. Yeah,
Okay.
so
Uh-huh.
sorry?
No, yes, good.
I'm also, I think I'm very good at like communication.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to have like a job, say like business, my own business, where I'll be able to create something amazing which can bring value to people and just bring them, this happiness and satisfaction from life. And rather than just making money without any reason, I think it's very important for me. And I think that I'm still looking for this, really good thing that I can do. And I've always been very jealous of people who knew what they wanted to do. Like for example, really Danielle, like you always knew you're going to do photography. Like with me, it was never like this.
Yeah.
I was into singing and I was into psychology and I'm into languages and business as well.
Right.
And into people quite a lot. So I think that from this course, I'm definitely looking something, just to see my real sort of, I don't know, is it calling?
Mm-hmm.
Which I know it doesn't exist, but
Well, we'll see. If it does,
Yeah.
it does. Okay. Okay. Because sometimes you can find your calling by accident, by doing various things. Sometimes when you actually investigate, because I have lots of people, because my job is to get people to realize what they dream of. So lots of people say, I dream of this, I dream of that, but when you actually sit down and actually work it out, it's not what they hoped to or what they thought about that they actually want to do. Sometimes people go on a journey for a long time, like, Danilo, but, then all of a sudden there is, what I've been talking about I want is not what I really want. So until you get on the journey of what, discovery, you wouldn't really know because you're always sitting and analyzing and thinking, this would be good, that would be good, and that would be great. But when you take on that life and live it, that's when you actually know if it's for you or not. Like, test drive it. So it's not a bad place to be in.
well, I'm trying to do as many things as possible because obviously I tried this job and I'm also doing a lot of volunteering and no matter what it is, I'm always trying
Right. So, what was the job that you did?
Basically, I did, it was content marketing, like content writing, copywriting, but I did all kinds of things. Like I talked to people quite a lot, and I organized things, and it was really creative, like job I did.
Okay. All right. Well, that's So you've used. So in terms of languages, how many languages do you know at the moment? They can
Well, I
speak
can speak 5 languages fluently.
5 languages.
Which is Russian, Chinese, English obviously, Polish, and Belarusian as well.
Okay.
And I'm learning French and Spanish at the moment, which I can speak a bit. Yeah.
Right. Because that could open up a whole new avenue of you teaching people languages, as a teacher of languages. You could do that over Skype. You don't actually visit people. You can. So you have 5 languages. You can teach Polish people English, English people Polish, Russian people English, or Polish. Polish people probably know Russian a bit more because so it's like
they lost the interest.
Yeah, but so you could teaching English and Chinese as well, because that's a growing language, because China has a lot of influence in the world. I met a woman here, and her job is to train corporate people in Chinese so that they can have business conversations with people in China. So that's a huge markup. So there are lots of opportunities for you to start wherever you want, because you've got so many talents. So great. All right. So let me tell you a little bit of the context for this workshop. So being unstoppable is one of the big outcomes of our main workshop that we do called Life Works. And the program is called Life Works, Be Free, Be a Leader. And it really is what it says in the tin, Your life needs to work in all areas, not just one or the other. You need to be free, and you need to be a leader of something for your life to work and for you to be free. So it's all, intertwined. And it's a 7-month coaching program, a focused 7-month period where we take you through a journey, you and all the other participants, between 3 to 7 people. And we take you through this journey of realizing your dreams. You say to us, this is what I want to accomplish. And we say, okay, let's go and make this happen. And as you go through that, journey, you will discover all the obstacles that's in your way, like issues and circumstances usually. And that's in everyone's way, that people don't actually see until they take a journey like that. And then what we do is over the 7 months, we give you tools and coaching and support to overcome that. And also, more importantly, find for yourself a way out of it, that your own design. Instead of, everyone can give you a rule book, right? This is not a rule book. The rule book is about you finding a way through it. And once you find the way through it, that's easy, your breakthrough. Because most people get stopped at some point in life. And in Life Works, you get to that point at some time. And then our job is to keep it going until you find a way out of that. Because once you've done that, you will be unstoppable for the rest of your life, whatever the circumstance. Because it's the same thing that makes you stop in one thing, that makes you stop in another thing. Okay, so that's the kind of, in short, the context for this workshop. And the intention of this workshop is to give you an idea of what that would be like in terms of you. If you were unstoppable, what would that be like for you, and what steps you need to take. And then give you an opportunity, if you want, to come on and do the longer training later on with us, if that's something that's a calling for you. Okay, so let's start with that. So Danila, as you're in the course,
yes.
Could you share with Sophie something that you're actually seeing for yourself out of the program that you didn't know before you started the program?
Okay, there is one thing that I notice all the time that I would have given up, and there are days when I think, well, I should go back and find employment and get a boss and a job in employment. And I know that I will hate that, but this is something that, because I'm doing the course, I always continue, and I do get to crisis points, but I somehow continue and keep continuing and going through. So this is the one main thing, and then many other things, of course, that It makes you think about how you see things. But like I said, at the moment I'm in this, that everything seems very fluid. And not too long ago, when I was in employment, things were not fluid at all. They were just there. So it was boring and tedious, but it was there.
Yeah.
And
you
now
can't say it's boring anymore.
Yes, no, I can't say this is boring. No, nothing is boring. Nothing is boring. But it is that, and the course has helped me continue, as opposed to stop.
Great, thank you, Danilo. Thanks a lot for that. So that's kind of what Danilo alluded to is what I said about people giving up, because that's the biggest obstacle for people in succeeding in anything. Because if you're in your comfort zone, like Danilo is a great photographer, so photography is your comfort zone, and languages probably are your comfort zone, or doing projects are your comfort zone. So in your comfort zone, you're really great. But when you get pulled out of the comfort zone, and then now I need to use my language to make a business maybe, or something else that we're not comfortable with, that's when everything comes to roost, all your issues and obstacles come to roost.
Yeah.
Right? That's when you need to actually, take a, either go back to what you knew in the comfort zone, or take a different course. It's a bit like, failure is a bit like gravity. Trying to escape it, you have to keep going around the gravitational pull until at some stage you get pulled off it, and then you're in outer space. Keeps pulling you back to ground zero. Give up. Come back to the comfort zone. It's very, it's a big magnet. It's like Earth has a core, and it's magma, and it's a magnet. So your magnet is give up, or don't come back into the comfort zone. That's everyone's. What do you want to say about that?
I just want to share something in regards to what you just said.
Yeah.
Because I actually do have a business with my husband,
Yeah.
which is called FreedomWorks English. And at the moment, it's not making any money, even though we started, and even though I devoted a lot of time to it. It's basically for me, it's like in stages. So I get really excited about it, and I really believe in myself, and I'm doing it, and it's actually getting much better. And then suddenly I give up because of this old faith, and I think this is gravity pulling me back, and it keeps just fluctuating like this, and it's really annoying.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I can actually make it work if I persist, but sometimes you just lose all faith, and you just don't believe.
Well, that's the thing, faith is not necessary. See, what's for a rocket to escape gravity, what's necessary? Does the rocket need to believe in escaping gravity?
You need energy.
It needs energy.
Yeah.
And what else? It needs energy, and it needs momentum.
Yes.
It needs to keep moving and at fast enough rate to keep going until all the
Yes, until it can be released from gravity.
that. Yeah, but the thing is, gravity is everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, weaker. The further you go away from the center of the core, it's weaker, and where closer you come to it, it's stronger. So that's life. You're pulled to give up and go back into the comfort zone. Initially it's really great. Once you keep training with it and go farther, it's still there. It never disappears. The moment it disappears is when you're dead. Then it's not there. Until then, it's always there. So it's always, that's why life is never a done deal. It's always like somebody said, pushing a boulder up a hill. Just need to might as well enjoy the journey, because otherwise it's horrible. But at least if you want to, if it's like that, then you can choose the journey worth going rather than keeping on the journey that's not worth going.
Yes.
So that's the choice you have. Life is this life, and what you get present to how life is that's how life is. It's uncertain and it's difficult, and it's always pulls you to be in your comfort zone. So that's what we do. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how that applies in terms of your life or other people's life. So I don't know whether you'll be able to see the board. We'll have a go. Can you see this part of the board from where you are? Okay, perfect. So I don't need a big area. So let's see, I don't pull the mic off. Okay, so say that's you. Can you see that? Is it too small?
Can I ask you to move your stand?
Yes.
It's
Okay.
like, yeah, cool.
Is that better? So that's you, or Danilo. And that's what you want. Okay? And in life, this is what we do. So you start going towards what you want, and you have this thing come up between you and what you want, which is usually your issues and circumstances. So issues like a confidence or wanting to give up, procrastination, all sorts of things like that. And then circumstances like lack of time or lack of money, lack of opportunities, or you don't see enough opportunities, or you don't know the people you need to know to take advantage of the opportunities. So those issues and circumstances, so what people do is they tend to go and do courses, read books, and study about how to overcome the issue. And that study takes over their life. And then what you want remains wanting. Right? So what we do is take you at the start of that journey and actually get you walking towards what you want. And when the things, issues and circumstances come up, we apply tools and distinctions to allow you to see what's going on. But still keep taking the steps towards what you want. So you're not stopped in taking the steps. Now, the steps may lead you to failure, but you're still taking some steps. Either right or wrong, or good or bad, you keep steadily taking steps towards what you really want. Some things will work, some things won't work, but when things don't work, you will learn what you need to do. When things work, you'll understand how to make things work and keep doing those same things. So that's the journey. That's what we do. Instead of you stopping to study about what you stopped and how to overcome it. Actually overcome it in the moment that you stopped. Using tools over time. Because that's another thing. Our work is over time, because everything takes time to build. There's an adage, Rome wasn't built in a day. So is your dream. It can't be built in a day or 2 days or 3 days. You can get ideas, you can have massive transformations, which are great, but the work that needs to go into making that happen takes some time. So the 7 month is a focused period of time for us to give enough of a push, enough of that, so that it lasts you for the rest of your life. Okay? So that's what we do. So now, so let's look at what stops you then, because every time something stops you, and we'll work on how you can overcome what stops you. So Danilo, what stops you at the moment in terms of your business?
At the moment, I've been talking to a good number of people, and I still don't have a firm commitment to actually get the jobs.
Yeah, so it's all volatile.
It's all volatile, yes, and fluid.
Yeah. Okay. And for you, what about it that stops you being volatile? Sorry, Sophie.
Well, to actually make it concrete. So
so you're looking for certainty, and it's not there.
It's not there. Yes.
So again, uncertainty makes you very
It does, yes.
Yeah.
And one thing that makes me a bit jittery is, like, this morning, for example, the first thing I did is I looked at my equipment, my cameras, my lenses, and I was just looking at them, and they are there, still unused. And I think you need to produce for me. And they're just sitting there. You see, I want to go and use them.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. It needs someone to make it use.
Exactly.
Probably the person looking at it.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
Good. And Sophie, what stops you?
this is actually how I feel. Like, I was listening to Daniela, it just sounds so much like me. Because we're making videos with my husband to, like, promote a channel, and basically, like, we're thinking about creating products in the future. But because, like, we're so busy during the week, and when it comes to the weekend where we can have, make the actual video, we're just so tired because we're both in full-time jobs. And it kind of just feels that I never have enough time for it. And also, like, every single day I'm losing faith in my project because, like, I see, because I work in, like, a huge, sort of, very sort of rich startup at the moment. And they have much bigger aims than I do. So when I talk to them about my aims, they're, oh, Sophie, forget about it and, like, get a proper business. I mean, your idea is just crap. And this is basically, it's not because they're bad people. It's just, like, basically this is what it is. I just don't have enough belief and enough, like, understanding of what I actually want to do and what can work.
Yeah. Okay, so what's this the stop in it? What stops you in all that?
I don't know, I guess the lack of belief
Yeah.
in that it's sort of enough.
Okay. All right, good. So that yours is uncertainty and yours is lack of belief, right? So that's your main stop in life. And where else does it show up in your life, Sophie?
I guess everywhere. Like when I'm working at my work, which is when I speak to my boss, for example, or to people, and I see how much more knowledge they have, and like how much more advanced my boss is, even though he's 10 years older than me, I'm still looking up at him and thinking, oh my God, you're just so much cleverer and more experienced than I am. And I guess that it just stops me because I'm always feeling like I don't have enough experience, and just generally,
inadequate. Yeah. So what experience do you have?
Well, it's really hard to explain. I don't know, in learning, in teaching, I guess now I have experience in copywriting and all kinds of stuff like recording, voice recording, and now personal development because I'm just so much into it.
Yeah. All right. We'll come to it in terms of creating opportunities in a second. So those are the things that Sophie. So I'm going to do an exercise about you and your issues. Okay. It works. I forgot to say this before, but do you have any sticky labels with you?
Sticky notes.
Yeah, just a couple.
Yeah, I'll go and get them in a sec.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Would you like some tea?
Yep, we'll have a break in a bit. Okay, cool. So Danilo, you take one. They take actually two. Okay, and you need two. So on one, you write your ambition, what you want to happen. So you can use this. Okay. On one of your sticky labels, write down what you want in life, like you said before. That your passion is. We're going to work on that a little bit more in a bit after this exercise, but for now, whatever you think what you want in life is.
Yes.
And then on the other one of the other ones, write down your issues. So yours is uncertainty, and yours is lack of self-belief, maybe. Okay. And then peel them off and put the one of them in your left shoe. Say your issue on your left shoe. Stick them on your left shoe. And your what you want in life on your right shoe. Done?
Yes.
You could do it in your hands as well. Alright, so which is you? Left shoe or right shoe? Or left hand or right hand?
Sorry, the good one. Where does it have to be left?
Doesn't matter. I say good one on the right hand, left the other one on the left hand, just for the exercise. It could be either one. Doesn't matter.
Okay, well, I think that I am definitely the right one because mine is to have an enjoyable business.
Okay, so stick it on the right side, and then the other one stick it on your either left shoe or okay, you could do it on your arm or your hand as well, right? So you said you're the right one, but you have it on the left as well, the other one.
Yeah.
Right? So there's two. So, but are you any of them?
I guess both of them.
Well, how?
What do you mean how?
How come? So I'll ask you the same. So which shoe are you?
It's a combination of the
It's
two.
a combination, right?
Yes, because
So
I want
you're
this.
saying in a way is you are your shoe. Are you your shoe?
Well, not really, no.
No, right? Are you your shoe in any way? Not really.
No.
No. So your thoughts and your emotions and everything happens in you, but they are not you until you identify yourself as them. So all those thoughts you have, this is my passion and then this is my issue.
Yes.
They are just thoughts that's going on in your head. Now, if you, Danilo, didn't know Sophie and you look at Sophie, can you see any issues in her
No.
by looking at her?
No.
Can you look at Danilo and see any issues in Danilo?
No, it's
So-
really
So where are they?
not. So in your head.
What? So if I take you to the hospital and open up your head, I will see the issue. No, you don't, right? It doesn't exist. The only place it exists is in a conversation. In your head, maybe, or wherever the conversation is. It's in a conversation, right? And as long as you associate with you as the conversation, or I'm this conversation, then you're lost. That's why you're so welded to. So uncertainty really gets you because you are uncertain.
Yes. Yes.
It's not a thought
No.
or an opinion,
No.
but it is happening in you.
Now I see it. It's a shoe.
It's a shoe.
But it's a very comfortable shoe. that
Yeah.
I don't want to
I know.
change.
I know, but as I said, your gravity pulls you to the comfort zone,
Yes.
right? So that's the point. See, you are not your issue or or your passion. They are just conversations that's going on in you. You are independent of all of those, right? So the one way to get yourself to be unstoppable is to not to be reactive to issues and circumstances, because you always react to your thoughts. As long as what you're thinking is going well, then you react well. If it doesn't go well, you react badly. And then you become that badly reacted person. So you're always reactivated by something or the other, right? Because you associate with yourself with the issues and your passions. But they are not your issues and passions, you are there and then you chose those, because the thinking happens in you. And those are the thinking that's happening in you at that time. Now, you can choose which thoughts you can honor and which thoughts you are going to disregard.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's this next exercise. So it's called creating an at stake. Right? So one of the things that will really help you to take on your life is to create something at stake for you and use that what's at stake for you to honor that, rather than your thoughts and ideas in your head, because they're always changing. But if you take on what's at stake for you in life and use that as a guiding principle in your life, then you will always have one place that you can go to. In the moment of uncertainty and when you're not sure, when you want to quit, there's one place that you can actually look at and go to. So that's called your at stake.
Yes.
Now, most people think what's at stake for them is money or career or anything. No. That's part of it. But what's at stake for them is something else. So let me explain it this way. So imagine if you're a betting person. I don't advocate you bet, but imagine you are, and you're betting on a horse. And you go to a betting shop and bet £5 on the horse, or 5 Master Polish money slotty on the horse. If you lose, there's not much at stake for you. You don't. It's just £5. But if you go to that same betting shop and bet your house on that horse, right? I'm betting my house on this horse to win. Then there's a lot more at stake. Right? What's at stake is not just the house. If you lose the horse, you're not just going to lose a house. You're just going to lose a lot of things. Your thinking, how you feel inside the house. It's a way of being that the house represents to you that you're losing. Right? So in your life, you need to put something at stake in the way of being in your life. Now, people don't understand being. I'll explain that in a bit. But so the way I coach people to look at it is, imagine your life is perfect. There's nothing wrong with your life. Everything is perfect. Okay? Now, how would it be for you? What would the way of being, how would you feel if everything is perfect? Sophie?
I think that I would probably have a house in England.
Okay.
And I'll probably just travel around the world, basically whenever I want. I don't know, 6, 7, 8 times a year, like just to have the freedom to go wherever I want. And I would really want to do something like super creative.
Okay.
You know, like just so that I'm 100% enjoy my job, because I do believe that it's possible, and I am going to do it. And you know, just that it doesn't actually feel like work, so that you go there and you just give all yourself to it, and I think that'll be perfect. And just to have the people who also, you know, like enlighten people around me.
Great.
That'd be cool.
So what way of being would that give you? How would you be in that situation? Imagine it's already happened. What would it be like for you? What would the way of being you will say? Would you say you have being what?
You mean like like for example, excitement?
Yeah.
Something? I think that it'll just be very enjoyable, and genuinely every day is going to be very exciting.
So
And
being excited.
like being loving, sort of being grateful,
Yeah.
and I guess that just enjoying it, you know, like pure joy. And I actually have experienced in Krakow, because my quality of life has increased hugely when I moved from my country here. And I did actually feel exactly what I'm describing now. It's just I want to take it to the next level.
Yeah. So recapture to us that being again. So being what? Being excited.
Excited, enjoying, love, gratitude.
Okay, so write those 4 words down in your notebook. So this is your at stake. See, what's at stake for you in life is being those things, experiencing those things. That's what you're looking for all the time in life, right? So for Danilo, what would that be for you? Being what?
For me, I have the advantage of the course, so I've been thinking about this for some time, and I do have my at stake. So for me is to be creative and free.
Yeah.
So 2 things: be creative and free.
Great, thank you. Okay? Alright, so that's the way of being that goes in your life, that really makes your life enjoyable and excited and worth living, right? Now, what result in your life would actually say that you will have achieved that? Now, it needs to be like a result that is achievable. Like if you never played football, you can't say I want to play football for Belarus. Or if you never flew in a plane or piloted a plane, you can't say I want to go to the moon, right? But some realistic result that really for you represent that you achieved that way of being. So what result would that be for you? Say between now and in the next 7 to 8 months.
I think that having a business which is online and which can generate enough income to allow me to travel wherever I want and
Perfect.
to have.
So write that down. And then for you, Danilo?
And for me is to have my photo business running.
Good, it's running now.
Yes, but running in a way that there's less uncertainty and more, at least more certainty that I will be able to pay the bills at the end of the month.
Yeah, okay. All right. So that's what's at stake for you, right?
It sounds really enticing, you know, what I just wrote.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to do some work. See, most people make a big mistake in life in terms of realizing results. And the people think that the way people live their life, it really doesn't lend itself to making your result happen. Somebody there?
Yeah, it's just my husband.
Okay, all right. So yeah, how people live their lives, doesn't actually make them realize what they dream of. It only makes them do the same thing again and again and again, hoping you'll get something different. Okay, so I'm going to show you that on this board. So can you see that? Okay, so most people live their lives in doing, in the domain of doing or action, right? You do a lot of things in order to have results. But when you have the results you say you want, then you get to be satisfied, excited, joyous, what did you say?
Be creative,
Creative,
free.
Grateful.
free,
Was also loving.
grateful and loving. So you will get all these ways of being when you have the result, or particular result. So until you have the result, you don't have this. That's the way most people live their life. So they do a lot of actions and to have results in a hope. When you have a particular result, or when you get to a particular stage in life, then you get to be satisfied, excited, joyous, creative, free, full of gratitude and loving. Right?
Yes.
But when is that going to happen?
Well, to be honest, I kind of feel it now, but in different,
Yeah.
like in different, what is it called? Like in different level?
Yes. Well, I'm going to bring it closer because you've done some work on yourself. You will have to, because you as well. Because you've done some developmental work on you. So you have actually kind of in the process of navigating this the other way around. But for people who haven't, this is the universe they live in. Okay? So what we say is, what makes a difference is that if you take on being what you said you want to be right now, today. So being joyous, grateful, excited, or being free and creative right now, this moment. Right? And then take the action, or take the action of that person. And then you have results. Right? See, results can be positive or negative, it doesn't matter. Because that's the nature of results. Sometimes they're positive, sometimes they're negative. What matters is who you're being and the action, taking the action the way you're being. Because that's when you are living, right? You could master producing positive results by failing. Lots of people who are very, very successful have failed a lot. And failure is an essential component of being successful. Especially when you take on something new. How are you going to be successful? Because you can read all the books in the world and maybe 10% of what you read in those books will apply to you. 90% is an individual thing. People who wrote those books wrote their experience, not your experience. That's not necessarily how you're going to get your experience out of life. But you need to find your own path to the success that you want. And that path is not an easy path, but it's a definite path. But when you learn, you can reapply again and again and again into your life, right? The results, yes, sometimes they are positive, sometimes that's the nature of results. You know, you will have really good months and you will have really bad months. Doesn't matter how good you get, how big you get. You know, if you get more successful, you have bigger bills to pay. That's the only difference. The ability, the way it goes is no different to how it's going now. So what you need to adjust to is not that. What you need to adjust to is living in this moment, living with the uncertainty and being okay, experiencing your state of being free and creative in the moment as you do it. And keep working on your strategies and experience of making it successful, how to make it successful your own way. That will take time.
Yes.
But if you are in the journey and if you're enjoying it, having joyous, being free and creative as it goes along, that's a space you can be in with all the uncertainties. Right?
Yes.
Uncertainty is part of the world. Now, more you are be able to be with that, more you can create a breakthrough result out of an uncertain situation. Now you are able to be free in the moment of something being uncertain. You're not reactivated, you're not running around, you know, trying to figure out, you're just being there, being free and being creative. You can come up with creative solutions to your problems. Or you could try out various problems until something becomes successful. You can innovate.
Yes.
That's the space you're in. You can always do that. Same for you. You know, you could take on being grateful and joyous, and what is the other thing you said? Free or creative. All the words you said, but take on being that now, and take on the action that goes with those ways of being, and keep taking on. Right? And create some places you want to be at that, you know, for you shows that you've achieved it. But you will always have to keep changing the goalposts, because when you reach those, then you have to surmount again, create more. So that's the journey, and that's called being unstoppable. Taking that journey, being in that journey, being willing to be in that journey in the middle of uncertainty. Right? That's the only time. Sorry,
it's just I wanted to verify, it's basically already being where you are, so you've already succeeded.
Yes.
And you already have it. It's just what you need, it's just to go and get it, and that's
well,
it.
what you need is to appreciate and be grateful to what you have, and keep working on having the result you wanted to have over time. Because the result that you said you want to have and the result you said doesn't happen overnight. It can't happen by waving a magic wand. You have to walk towards it. You have to get to it. Right? And then shortest way to get to it is to work this way. The longest way is to do all sorts of other things and actually get lost in the middle, and mostly never even get there. You know, the quickest way to be successful is keep taking your life on. And repeatedly take on and on and on and on until you are successful, and keep going on even when you are successful. Keep learning the lessons. Stop being complacent that you got it all handled, because that's never going to happen. And stop wanting something over there while you're trampling around here. And then they're saying grass is always green over there. Well, the grass was green at some point over here. until you become started traveling over here. Now it's all brown, and you have to go over there. And guess what? When you go over there, that's exactly what's going to happen to all the green grass you're going to go over to. Because when you start taking tough stuff on, when you get to any position in life, there will always be issues and circumstances, problems to deal with. And people, as human beings, don't like problems. They want everything fixed, they want everything easy. And the technology and everything that's driving today makes us more and more susceptible to having an easy life. Unfortunately, running your life the way you want and really taking the dreams that you have on and making them happen isn't easy. And it's never going to be easy. But you could get used to it. You could adapt it as a way of life. Like being unstoppable is that way of life. Taking on my life, I'm going to be unstoppable no matter what. And keep going and actually enjoying the ride as you go, even when you through ups and downs. And then being clever enough to work out when you're in a rough patch, how to get out of it, rather than giving up. There are lots of resources. You can ask people, you can talk to people, you can get coaching, you can get support from people, can do networking. That's why creating lots of relationships with people who could help you is a real big thing.
Yes.
So you're talking to people, you're building relationships.
Mm-hmm.
It may not happen now, but you're creating steps for the future.
That's right, yes.
To be successful. And you keep building those relationships, and as you keep building those relationships, sometimes things can turn around spectacularly.
Mm-hmm.
Other things, yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to add something, because my cousin is in business, and she's only started like probably 3 years ago, and she said that the hardest thing about all of it was not finance, not the actual work, but actually getting the first client.
Yeah.
And she said that once you actually get it, that's it. It's on the roll. It's all good. It's just convincing people, and that's actually exactly how I feel.
Yes.
Because at the moment, like, for us, it's getting people, the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you just need to, and, it does seem like nobody likes it. But, we get people commenting on our YouTube videos. I get people writing to me saying, Sophie, you're doing great work.
Mm-hmm.
And people are building, it's just you can't see it because it's so slow. But the reality is that it's going up. It's just you have to keep moving.
Well, there's two things to that. One is that if you really want to take on life, stop listening to what everyone's saying. Because sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's just nonsense. It's just their opinion, right? And the second thing is sometimes certain things that people say are quite valid. So you need to look at criticism with a pinch of salt. Like, you don't take the whole thing, but you really look at it to see, all right, is there anything in it? Because in our business, we've been coaching for 5 years. I've taken a lot of criticism. I'm always open to criticism, because although 90–80% of the stuff is nonsense, but there's a little gem of truth in some criticism if you really take it on. Because the reason people reject you is for whatever reason, but one major reason is they don't trust you.
Yes.
Right? So it's about you developing trust with someone. Right? Now, if you're doing it online and if you're doing it through videos, then it probably takes longer to develop trust. Getting lots of testimonials can help you to develop trust, because people like to follow other people who has good stories. Even if you have a bad story, it doesn't matter, because if you can actually reach out to those people who have a bad story and turn them around, that could really make a difference to you and them, right? So it's being open to the possibility, the notion of you're at stake. That's what's at stake for me all the time, and actually living from that at stake. Regardless of the situation. Situation could be really great or could be really bad, and especially if you're starting something, most of your situations aren't going to be really great.
Mm-hmm.
If you analyze it that way, because it's going to be failure, and then a success and a failure, and like that. But if you manage to keep going through the failures and keep managing yourself, keep managing to pay your bills, do something. You can always, if you look, you can always find solutions. You have looked and you found solutions, right? And that's the thing, keep looking and keep looking and keep looking, and you will always find solutions. But don't take it as a punishment. You know, don't take it as a, don't moan and groan too much, because, nobody put a gun to your head and told you to do it. You did it yourself, right? So you have a choice. You can go to your safety-filled, safe zone anytime, right? But then you can't criticize yourself to say I'm bored, or I don't have any direction, or I don't know where I'm going with this, because you're doing it willingly. It's okay. But if you're not happy with it, if you have an ambition, then you need to keep working on the ambition. And it might take you 20 years to achieve your ambition, or it can take you 5 years, or 2 years, or 3 years, right? But it's the journey, how you travel the journey, how excited you are in the journey. Because it's that unstoppability people find very attractive. So when you're looking for clients and they see you the way you are, and they keep seeing you going for things again and again and again, initially they might reject you because they trust you, but actually they see you performing over time. People always change their minds. Like lots of people come to our coaching session, and mostly people live this life of, a bit like planets. In the olden days, they used to think the planet Earth was the center of the universe. Right? And you think you are the center of the universe, and all these other people are planets floating around you, right? And you think they're always going to be the same. And you think you're the only one who keeps changing. But unfortunately, you're not the center of the earth, and they change and you change all the time. You progress all the time in your experience, in your creativity. Now, if they think you're the same person 5 years ago now, and you think they're the same people 5 years ago, then you're actually going to lose out, both of you. Right? But you need to see, this, they don't. They just live it. Right? This is you and your people surrounding you. So if you knew that, then you could actually educate and train people and take people along with you on a journey, so they discover you along that journey. So you're not stopped by people or with people. Most people say no first time. That's the nature of them. But don't discard them just because they said no, unless there's some reason you don't want to work with them, right? But then that's a few minority of people. Majority of people aren't like that, right? So keep generating what you're generating and let them know what you're doing, and keep doing it repeatedly, and they will at some point will want to come in with you and do business with you. Some people are quick to do business with you, some people take a long time. It's all to do with the way they perceive people, how easy they get on with people, right? So that's, you have to deal with people in business. People have to buy from you.
Yes.
And you can, we are learning ourselves how to expand our work through online marketing and all sorts of things. So you can always innovate. If something doesn't work, find another way of making it work. And that's the nature. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to keep you going. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, when it doesn't work, then you will fail. But if you learn not to do the same thing, after maybe 2 or 3 times, try something different. And keep trying different things. And as you keep trying different things, you will grow. The situation will move. And then, there will be a turning around the corner somewhere that will be like a huge breakthrough. Okay? So that's the message I want to give to you. See, in the world of doing, having, it's not the normal way people live their lives. And you're automatically prone to doing life this way, to do a lot of things, to have results and get to be satisfied at the end. That's our kind of, programming almost. Even when you know that intellectually, doing it actually consistently over time is very difficult for people. Right? So that's why we created the 7-month program, to actually take that journey with you, to train you, to keep you on that track with that journey, no matter what happens. So you get some training and mastery in being on that journey, and having a victory at the end to celebrate it. Okay? So any questions from the things I've covered so far? Sophie?
Not really, it's all very clear.
Yeah.
No, that's
Was it worth you coming here for a session? Did you get something new?
Yes. And what I liked about the session today is, apart from being here with you, Sophie, it was a refresher of things.
Yes.
Because what I notice now is that I'm flicking through my notes, I'm going back, because I have a resource from the course. So
Yeah.
I'm looking again at things.
Yes.
So I don't go into my negative moods or,
Yeah.
well, I do go into, but it's different.
Well, it's natural, it's
I
human.
just, try to see, and then I do try the at stake that I have. But anyway, it's been a refresher in that sense, the
Yeah.
session today.
Because this is our plan going forward, to do these sessions at least once a month, and we'll invite people from the current or past participants to come and take part, because sometimes sharing what you got really makes you realize what you got. Like last time I did it 2 weeks ago, I had this guy coming, he just finished one of our 7-month programs. He really had a hard time. He had something called a personality disorder.
Right.
A mental disorder, and so it really took him a lot to do the course and actually finish the course and everything. And then he said, he was going to give me a testimonial. So sitting in front of the camera, looked at me and said, "I don't know if I got anything from the 7-month course. I mean, yeah, your course was great. You all tried really hard, and I really went through it, but I can't." Then there's another guy who also did the course, and he reminded me, okay, a moment ago you said all the things you couldn't do, and now you said all the things you are doing. And then he said, yeah, I used to never do any of those things I'm doing now, and that I'm doing now. So sometimes you forget how far you've traveled when you're on a journey like this, and you keep, because your self-doubt keep coming up again and again and again, questioning you. But actually that's one of the biggest things about what we do, because we build evidence in your life. So even your negative mindset can't turn around and say you haven't done anything. If you look for evidence over time, you will have built lots of evidence. And just in life, if you did life like that, you will have produced evidence and you can see. So then you can take, courage, or take notice from reality, like you actually did something, rather than your negative mindset keep telling you didn't do it, you haven't done enough. But you are always, the fact that you're alive is a miracle, right? And the fact that you have a choice to do what you really want to do is also a miracle, because most people don't have a choice. They're just stuck in, what they're supposed to do, or what they are stuck in life to do. So you have a choice. Having the choice itself is a miracle.
Yes.
And the fact that you are struggling in the application of that choice is a great journey to have. You could go to a boring job and be stuck in that boring job and blaming yourself and hoping one day. But see, the thing is, when you quit like that and go back to what you already had, you're never ever going to come out of it again easily. It's going to be twice as hard for you to come out of it as before. I used to run, and I gave up running because I got busy and stuff, and then I put on weight, and trying to lose weight was really difficult after. Longer I left running, harder it was to get back into it.
Yes.
Now I'm starting to do exercise to lose weight. I've been doing it consistently. I'm consistently losing weight. But that consistency you need to keep going with anything, with your business or anything. So consistency, actually, to be successful in anything, you don't need anything other than consistency. If you are consistently applying yourself and consistently talking to people, consistently, pitching people, you will be successful. Just if you actually apply your brain a bit to learn when you don't work, and like that, and not to throw the whole thing away and run away, and keep in the game, that's when tennis is a very good example. I don't know whether you like tennis. You like sports, Sophie?
Yeah.
I love sports. There was a legendary game at Wimbledon about 5-6 years ago between Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer. I went a really, really long time.
Yes.
One, Federer was winning one set, and then Nadal was an Indian. Nadal won against, although he wasn't supposed to be winning that. And it's like that because he was lost so many times, and he never knew when he was beaten until he won. And that's happened to Federer as well. I've seen that. So in sports, it happens all the time. In business or in careers, in life, people give up. So, people don't keep playing until they win. The moment you give up is the time you lose, and then you will never try again. So this is about going beyond that and being unstoppable with that. Okay? All right. So I'm going to give you some details about the next LifeWorks course. But before that, what time is it? Okay. Before that, just a couple of things about, taking your dreams on, right? Most people, when they take their intention and need to actually take the action, there are two things that comes up. One is the circumstances, right? People are always stuck, stopped by circumstances, not having enough money, not having enough contacts, not knowing enough people, stops people, right? That's the number one. Number two is the trust. See, people pretend to trust. Like there's an agreement in the world that I don't trust you, but I pretend to trust you until you prove otherwise. And everyone does that with everyone else, right? And it's all nice and everything, but that's why you go to someone, you have a really great conversation, and at the end of the day, they're going to buy my nut. Now, some people might actually tell you why not, because in London it's very polite. People don't tell you why not. Everything is okay. Mm-hmm. In other countries, like if you go to Israel, they will really tell you why not. Are very straight, right? Yeah? But I don't know. Maybe in Poland they will probably tell you exactly like standard from what you said earlier on. They tell you, why they want to take in your ideas and stuff. They're not, shy about telling you stuff, right? The thing about that is there's just still opinions of other people, right? But you see, you're looking for a breakthrough in creativity, right? And you're looking for a breakthrough in kind of sustainability, right? For both of those things, what's essential is thinking outside the box, thinking outside the normal paradigms that you think from. So you need to actually be grateful. What were your four at stakes? Being what?
Joyous, excited, loving, grateful.
Yeah, so you need to be those things in the process of developing your business, in the process of making money, in the process of being successful. And for you to be free and creative,
yes.
Be creative in the process of getting clients.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe trying again and again,
Yes.
not chucking them, saying, "Oh, that's done. I'm not going to go back to them."
Mm-hmm.
Creating, more products or more types of, products. Now you had a successful run in creating photography thing. Maybe turn it into a video.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe charge a bit, twice as much.
Mm-hmm.
Still you will make some money, and it's a new product because your reputation is established already in that arena.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can offer this new product. So you have to charge 50% more for that product.
Yes.
Now, but you can still the other thing as well as this,
Yes,
but
mm-hmm.
you can keep revolving that.
Mm-hmm.
For you, when you're starting in, find a place to start. Where are you going to start, and what day are you going to start, and what results are you going to produce when you start? Because then you have something to go for, and actually have something big, something that scares you, rather than something too small that you can do in your sleep, which is no stretch for you. Because if you have something big that's going to scare you, you will actually get into action. Because fear is a good motivator sometimes, right? But if you're so comfortable with a smaller result, the smaller target that you're going for, and if you miss that small target, then you're going to lose a lot more than going for a big result and achieve kind of half of that. But if you go for big results and keep going for it, and then you develop the muscles to actually make those results happen eventually. Okay? Okay, so now in terms of life works, that's what the journey that we're going to take on. You know, we're going to take you on that journey of trusting yourself and actually getting yourself to, you know, get yourself going, if that makes sense. And we will, you know, create a supportive team around you and get you to make that journey. Now the situation has changed, maybe it's a good time for you to look at that as well for yourself. I've sent you in my email 2 things. One is case studies. You probably have read it already because I sent it previously. The other one is the Next Life Works program, starts Thursday. Now, but if you're interested, I can have a conversation with you, like a separate conversation, maybe tomorrow or later on tonight when I go home, to actually create something with you, to see what works and how you can make it work. Because of Skype, you don't need to necessarily be here, although there are some sessions it would be really good for you to be here as well. So we can create something. Will that be good for you?
Cool, yeah, sounds very interesting.
All right, so when would be a good time to talk? Because it's now nearly 10 to 11 now, isn't it? Is that cool?
I think it's 10 to 10.
10 to 10, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I can just tell you when I'm available, which is like normally the weekend at the moment.
Okay. Would you be available Thursday evening at some point?
Thursday evening. Not this Thursday. Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, maybe. Shall I just discuss?
That's for the session itself. But we need to have a conversation. Are you free tomorrow morning anytime? Tomorrow Wednesday morning?
I don't think what kind of morning are you talking about?
What kind of time in the morning? I don't know. What time would you be free?
Well, I have to start work at 9 your time.
Mm-hmm.
So I can talk to you while I'm going to work. Maybe.
So how long does it take to go to work from where you are?
About half an hour.
Okay. So what if we speak at 8 o'clock our time, 9 o'clock your time? Half an hour before you leave?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah?
I'm just not sure. I really need to look at my diary because I might have like something planned.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we just discuss it in the chat?
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
can look at it and then think about it.
Okay. But let's have a conversation sometime tomorrow because the next program starts on Thursday evening. But before you come on it, I need to talk you through everything of it. I don't want to do it now because just you and me and stuff. But I can do it one-on-one. Okay?
So would it be actually possible for me to participate online like this?
Yes. Yeah. There will be some sessions that we would encourage you to actually attend so you meet the people. And it'd be a really good idea if you can get one other person from there to participate with you, so there are 2 of you there. And we will have about 3 or 4 people here as well in the group. You know.
Okay, well,
So-
I can think of something.
But let's have a conversation soon because the time is going. Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow evening I'm leading the other series from about 5 o'clock. I'm not available. But 4:30 I'm having a group call. So before 4:30 any time would be perfect for me tomorrow to talk. Say from any time until 3:30 in the afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Right, so to close, what do you like to say to finish the session, Danilo?
I enjoyed the session and it was very good to go back to some of the concepts that we had addressed earlier
Yeah,
in my course.
great. And then Sophie?
It's actually been extremely beneficial for me because I've had this dilemma, like what I want to do in my life, and because I have so many job opportunities. And now you've asked me this question, what you actually want from your life, and I've realized that what I want really aligns
Yeah.
It makes it really simple.
Yes. And then when you go on that journey, it makes it even more simple because you're actually working on it. And then doesn't mean you're stuck to it. You know, you can change, but at least you know from experience if this is for you or not, rather than thinking, oh, this will be nice, this will be not. All right.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys.
Yeah, well, you could still network with each other because you know Gosha, and you know now you know Sophie, so there's a connection there. Gosha's coming to London in I think next week or week after. So we'll create another meeting. So that's another group of people to network for you.
Yeah, it would be good to meet.
Yeah, and then maybe you can bring your experience to Krakow as a photographer, and because
I actually have a very good friend that lives in Krakow.
yeah, so there's lots of opportunities. When you meet people, all sorts of opportunities will open up, and for creativity as well as business as well as friendship.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep the whole thing open.
Absolutely, you should visit. You'll really like it. There's loads of networking opportunities here. Not that there aren't any in London, obviously, but yeah.
No, it's no. I appreciate that. It's something I want to do.
Okay, well, we'll work on it from now on. Right. Thank you very much, Sophie. We're going to finish now. Thanks for being in the session. Thank you for coming in all the way from Krakow. Thank you for coming in all the way from Hammersmith to be here. There's two other people supposedly who's not here, so it makes a difference. Like I'm sure if that's the thing. See, when you're stopped in life, you lose lots of opportunities. If the both of them were here, they would have had opportunities that would you wouldn't believe.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not here, right? And then you're getting the opportunities they're missing out. They don't even know. And that's life. There's opportunities all around. Just because you don't look, you don't see, doesn't mean it isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you keep blaming yourself and blaming everything, say it's not working, it's only because you're not looking and you're being stopped in something. So thank you and have a great time, and we'll connect with you. I'll connect with you by text, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, and have a great evening today.
Thank you. You too. Take care, guys.
Nice meeting you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Sophie.